Alright, here we are with Fellowship of Cybertron, Season 2, Episode 10, The Path of Logic, Part 4. We are in February 2020, and I am Devin playing the Horizon Framework playbook, and to my left we have X playing Y.
Tyler playing the Lantern.
Ian playing Rover the Collector.
And Peter as Fight of Nullspace, the Angel.
Mark is sick today, also. First try.
Only Tyler missed his name.
Did he?
I think you just said the Lantern, right?
Yeah, I just said I was the Lantern.
Okay, well, we did it.
Woo! Professional.
They know who I am.
We've
All right.
only done
And
this
if
for
they
how
don't,
many
they
years?
will.
So, recap the story up to now.
All of it?
You do a recap. Bring
Well-
people up to speed like it's a TV show.
At the start there was Unicron and Primus.
So we came to a planet that was infected by a plague. We met Depth Charge, who was in charge of the quarantine, and we trusted him completely and unconditionally, as is our wont.
I mean, he got the right colors on.
Yeah. And then we went down to the planet to do our best to solve the plague that was there. Also with the knowledge that Waspinator, a vicious war criminal, was at loose and at large on the planet, and that Depth Charge was hunting him. On the planet, we discovered that there were 3 castes of people. There were the laborers, the barons, and the oracles. The barons were more or less in charge, but they were petitioning the oracles to let them into the Space Federation? Starleague?
Yeah.
There it is. Yeah, why don't you take over?
Sure. Then we learned that there was a bunch of fishy things with the plague. Like things didn't add up. It didn't seem like it was normal. Didn't seem interesting. We also started to learn there were holes in Depth Charge's story. Then a kaiju attacked because giant monsters like energy, so we killed that, realized it was infected. Then what did we do next?
We found Waspinator.
Oh yeah, then we found Waspinator.
It was super infected.
Oh yeah.
There was some oracles that were infected, and barons. Everyone's infected.
Yeah.
Except
It's-
us, for now.
Well, yeah.
The plague can jump species.
Including 2 Cybertronians, because it's an off version of Rust? No, not Rust.
No.
What's
Cybonic plague.
Cybonic plague. That's the word I was looking for. Yeah. So yeah, shit just hit the fan, and we're now actually in a full quarantine zone because it can affect us too. So scary. Yeah.
Day 14.
Yeah.
Alright, so yes. Camera crashes back on the CDC Center. The date comes up. Date 14. Total infected, 3,203. Dead this day, 180. Total dead so far, 986. And it just starts slowly, or more slowly, ticking on up.
Yep.
So, we camera cut to you guys all hanging out in the Shatterdome.
What's the bone doing?
Okay, I'll give the new stats on the next day that passes. That's more for the next day update.
Okay.
Alright, so CDC Center. The 3 of you are looking at the schematics and the information coming from the newly established Shatterdome after, what was that one you knocked down? Knife Head?
Yes.
Yeah, so they're starting to biopsy it and start examining its body and keeping a quarantine up. The news is flicking through rapid stories as people are checking all these different stations. New infected are being found that were previously being hidden across basically all the different social stratas now that the cross-species nature is starting to leak to the public. So like they're finding oracles that have been infected that haven't been getting checked because they didn't have a reason to. And a lot of barons were hiding it.
That makes sense, yeah.
So your numbers are starting to spike up as they're gathering census data.
We do have symptom, test, vector, and transmission. So I am going to be checking. I don't need to do it on screen unless you want, but I am checking all the people in our little quarantine zone where Letnev is and her whole family, making sure none of them are infected.
Oh, a bunch of her family's infected.
Okay. They are out of there. That's, yeah. They're gone.
Where are they gone? Where are they out of?
We're just gonna build a second thing and just hide them there.
Leprechaun.
Yeah, until we have treatment and prevention, they're out of there, not infecting General Pop.
I see.
If we only had those, whatchamacallit, in the pretender shells, instead of replacing them one by one, until it's just Letnev.
Cybonic plague affects pretender shells.
Yes, but we just cycle the infected ones
We have
out
Gen
and
Pop
put in.
and Infected Pop, and they're separated. Okay. Until we get treatment and prevention. Yeah. Perfect. I don't want my newly collected people to be all infected.
The Cybonic plague.
Yeah.
All right. So what's the plan now to get more of these symptoms knocked? More of these virus paths knocked out.
We are.
So that beast that was in the water, that was coming close, that we saw, that was, we believe, to be uninfected. Is that still in play?
I think that's the plan.
Yep.
Did I have a name?
No.
No.
I
Not for
did.
the second one.
Oh, thank God. All right, keep going.
So how are we going to lure it out?
Jack 'em Up gave us his reactor to borrow.
So it can, yeah.
So
Because
we
those
can
go-
just
As a bait.
use it as a bait.
Right, well, we better get on that before this gets out of hand.
Sounds good.
Yes.
All right. So let me pause real quick. Okay, so we pivot to the on the hunt set piece, which is there is a beast out there, a titan or a kaiju or whatever. It's called Thunderjaw. You guys want to capture it alive and bring it to your Shadow Dome so you could infect it and watch it go through all the stages of the disease up to mortality. The plan is starting to go into chaos because more and more infected reports are starting to come in, vastly outstripping the initial, 1,000 infected from today? Yeah, that number is climbing rapidly as the tests that you guys developed are starting to be used on a larger scale, and people are starting to out their competitors and like their rivals as being infected or their family as leverage. It's getting bad out there. So the planetary defense system is not really listening to you or basically taking the time to hear you out, and they're going to try and kill this thing when it starts causing trouble, like they're doing with the rest of the Titans that are rising up. You know, they have SATCOMs and missiles and tanks and hover weapons. They're gonna try and murder it. So the objective on the hunt is for you to find Thunderjaw first, disable Thunderjaw because it's a goddamn horror show, and then bring it back to your Shadow Dome. So you'll be running into competitors on this hunt, and we start with you all telling us a rumor you've accessed about Thunderjaw or heard about, and I decide which ones are true as we go along. So let's start. Who wants to go first?
Before Thunderjaw approaches any area, there's always the distinct smell of sulfur in the air.
Thunderjaw, a lot of people think he's named because his bite shocks you, but he's actually named because he's so fast at how he bites you. Like, you don't even see him coming. It's just like a flash of thunder.
Thunderjaw is fast. All right.
And my rumor is that, Thunderjaw is actually a thunderbird, so it actually flies in like a cloud of thunder and, rains thunder from that.
Perfect. All right. So, you guys head to the location. You know, you get a transporter, you take the endless nightmare maze that is the city. Oh, speaking of the endless nightmare maze that is the city, so there have started to be radiation storms from the reactors that are having problems, and the power outages are not allowing like the pollution filters and energon scourers to be running. So you're starting to get naquita pollution in the air. This is going to start making you not sick like you're sick, but it's going to start gumming up your systems and slowing you down. This is a cut coming to all of you.
I have...
Is that the location thing, or...?
It's bad weather. It's a location threat.
I'm going to use
So this location has 2 stats, Concrete Jungle and Electrical Mayhem, and now it has bad weather, where bad weather is always going to be throwing a soft cut at you.
I'm going to put on a overshield and use that one of my useful items.
Okay, overshield's on.
I guess I'll spend my protection on it.
Alright, you're not being affected by the naquita poisoning.
Yeah.
I'm going to attempt to overcome this cut
Aha!
by using my healing and my little light scanning to continually cleanse myself.
Perfect.
So overcome with blood.
Yes.
Blood.
That's the basic overcome. You fail.
I got a 6.
Okay, so I'll throw a cut at you. What are your stats that are undamaged?
All of them.
What are your stats then?
Blood, courage, grace, sense, wisdom.
What's
Damage
your
or
best
grace?
Okay.
As, you're not quite as agile or hand-eye coordinated because the naquita poisoning is starting to mess with your limbic systems. I hope limbic systems are hand-eye coordination.
Whisper louder for the listeners.
I hope limbic systems are hand-eye coordination. Because limb's in the name.
I think it's lymphs, not limbs.
No, that's your lymph nodes.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, you guys drive on out to... Where's this thing arriving from? Where's it breaching?
The shore.
Alright. So yes, the shoreline has damage all across it. There are, of course, vid screens and recordings of Thunderjaw having ravaged this area and then being retreated into the ocean. This area has shallow beaches and pools and sort of on tropical beaches where there's mountains, and if you go underwater, you can pop up in a lake in the middle of the mountain, and there's a hole in the top, and it's all idyllic, like in Porco Rosso. Mm-hmm. It's like that, very Mediterranean and nice looking, but covered in nightmares because it's the Bikini Atoll now. So it could be hiding among the shallows, it could be hiding among the reefs, it could be hiding in these Mediterranean sort of island areas, it could be among the ruins. You gotta branch out and search, which brings us to the set piece.
Woo.
You are on the prowl. So, you're allowed to take you're allowed to attempt a move before getting a reaction, and there are 3 moves, or 3 stats basically, that have a move around them. Lie in wait, follow the trail, or place bait. If you guys split up, you can each do 1 before the next turn happens, and something happens with the organization, or Thunderjaw does something, and they'll all help you find it. Or you can choose 1, and 3 of you can pool up in case you find Thunderjaw.
I say we split up.
Yeah.
Just like last time.
Woo!
When I got to introduce Nitro Zeus.
Best NPC.
Oh man, he's going to be great in Season 3. Which we can confirm is happening because the Empire, Fellowship the Empire, is out now.
Woo!
Who wants to do what?
So, lie in wait is you roll sense and you set a trap. And if you succeed, the beast shows up where you want it. On a 10+, the trap works, and you set a trap and it holds it down. On a 6-, someone else shows up. Mm-hmm. Who wants that?
I have fairly good
Well,
sense.
Can you tell us all of them?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Follow the trail. You're trying to track its tracks, and you roll blood. On a 7+, you find it. On a 10+, it hasn't noticed you yet, and you can tell where it'll be in the future. On a 6-, the beast finds you. And the last one is place bait. You roll with courage, and you leave some bait out. On a 7+, the beast comes for you. On a 10+, the bait can take action before the beast is right on top of them. Oh, because you're bait. Someone has to act as bait. You have to leave someone as bait. So the bait can escape and not get macked right away. And on a 6-, the beast takes the bait and runs off with it.
Who's got good courage?
Not me.
0.
Oh.
Oh, God.
How do I have the best courage out of all of you?
Wait, what's your courage?
+1.
That's really good. +1 is good in this game.
Yep.
Still, how is that the best at a... Oh.
Is there any way you can get yourself to roll with hope?
Bunch of
I mean,
Autobots.
you can.
I can tell you what to do.
Yeah, you can tell me what to do. And actually,
Cover yourself in barbecue sauce.
fine, I'll be good bait. Because I can use trap at fast if need be, so...
Yeah, the bait rolls courage. That's it.
Okay, so you're doing courage.
Okay.
So you get
So
that
that
drum
leaves
of teriyaki
Blood and
sauce.
sense. I've got +2 in both. Which is better for you?
Sense, but I can do the blood thing and just soak the damage. I guess that's fine.
Well, which would you prefer to do? Because it's a wash for me. They're both good for me.
I guess I'll do the second option to try to find it.
Follow the trail?
Blood?
Yeah.
That's blood.
Okay, so I'm doing sense.
Democracy coats our hands in blood.
So give us advice, though, Jedi Master.
Yeah,
Yes.
give your advice.
Okay, so what are you guys doing? What do you need advice on?
I'm bait.
All right, so we know that this thing, it goes for Naquita, it goes for Energon. So what you want to do is you want to make yourself vulnerable and then expose your Energon. Maybe like tamper with some tubes a bit, bleed. Let it get this.
No, keep going.
Let it get the scent of blood in the air,
As we get flashbacks
Okay.
to LV.
and then stay as still and docile as you possibly can until the very last minute when it's entirely upon you. That's the only point when you move.
Okay.
And what are you doing?
I'm going to search for it,
He's following the trail.
following the trail.
Okay. So this is what we know about it. It's big. It hunts Energon. You can see from these documents that we've compiled about how it's attacked areas before. So you want to look for footprints. This thing isn't. It's not keeping itself hidden. It's out for blood. So go for the biggest commotion that you can find.
And you're doing setting the trap, or
I'm setting a trap.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're lying in wait.
I'm lying in wait.
anyway.
Just yell at yourself.
I'm just gonna hunker
Well, I
down
mean,
here.
I do have your moves, so maybe I'll give you the advice
Okay.
of hey, set up the reactor to like overcharge, and hide.
The trap being like it's a bunch of steel cable and like you have a screwdriver and you put a giant screw in the ground around the loop so that and then you try it around like a street lamp pole that's bent a little so when it walks up it like goes around its foot like a rabbit.
There
Fucking
you
Bugs
go.
Bunny.
There you go. That's the advice.
Okay.
Nice.
Make it like a cartoon. It's like what the fuck's a cartoon? Like a TV show. What's a TV?
It's like a holo projector, but crappy. Robots in disguise.
Fucking,
What?
I don't remember his name, but the one we met in,
Black Star?
yeah,
Yeah, that was Thundercracker, I think.
Thundercraft.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, the guy who's like
Silent.
the guy who's all like, soap operas. It's like, what? Well, I had like a bunch of shows to watch while I was in stasis, so I watched them. Like, how do you know so much about pop culture? How do you know so much about pop culture?
Why
That
do
was
you,
700 years ago.
why do you look like Roy Batty?
Yeah, why do you look like Rutger fucking Howard? How would you even know what he looked like?
Good show.
That was a good one.
Okay.
The Scraplets. Which I gotta
Took
throw
me
at you
far
guys.
too long to realize that they were scraplets.
It took you. That was a 4-hour session.
Yeah.
Only at the end.
They're so cuddly and they fit in these, eggshells.
Alright, who wants to go first with their terrible plan to lure the monster out?
Yeah, the bait can be first.
Bait! Alright, so you're just smeared in Energon?
Yeah, so I just smear Energon all over myself, and then I smear some around on the ground.
Remember, you can reject his advice and still get hope.
No, I
Just to
trust
spite
him.
him.
I trust him. I can take an action to set a trap too, can't I? Because that's
No. Or what? Like you're just your own trap?
because I have items trap with the trap
Yeah,
keyword, so
I
I
guess.
can
Yeah,
set that.
narratively. Sure.
So as I'm smearing Energon around, I set up one of my traps, and then I just lie down and
Wee.
stay very still as a silent wee woo is off in the distance, and I'm going, wasn't he supposed to be the quiet one watching us?
All right, roll your courage.
Okay, and I get hope.
Oh, please be a 6. Please, God.
Oh.
Okay,
What was that?
So-
that's a 5.
Okay. All right, you're on the
I'm
ground.
really good at bait.
You're on the ground, totally motionless, and you're kind of just looking at a nearby puddle, and the puddle starts to shudder a bit. And then a little more, and then a little more.
He told me to keep waiting.
And a T-Rex covered in like open holes that are giving off energy, like energy smoke, like cooling towers, runs out of some debris, big giant jaw, not super fast, but faster than you'd expect, and
Oh,
picks
God.
you up and runs off with you.
Oh god.
You have been, takes the bait and runs off with it.
Oh god. Can one of
Swing
my
spotlights.
traps go off because I set traps?
That's not what the move consequence says.
Crap.
You're gone.
Well, guys, it was nice knowing you.
Well, I guess I can go next.
Who's next?
Peter wants to go next.
Do I take damage from that? Or
No, just you're
that's
gone.
good.
That was the
That's
consequence of the
good.
fail.
I'm gone.
We'll get to that later.
Okay.
Thunderjaw is a nightmare. He does 3 damage an attack.
Womp womp, don't get got.
Yeah, don't get got.
Okay, so Viator turns into his Unicron form and just starts flying about. And using his angelic words of power, using the word open, just like part the waters and so on, and started searching everywhere, just clearing the landscape with some sort of like, energy projections
Okay.
to start, looking for those prints there of it.
Alright.
And what I'm rolling with blood?
Blood.
Blood, that's -1.
Boy.
Huzzah!
Why did you pick a -1 stat?
Because it was more interesting. I rolled an 8.
We asked you what you were good at, not what you found interesting.
I rolled an 8.
I mean, he
That's
still
8.
managed an 8, which is impressive.
Hey, you damaged the follow the trail stat, which reveals the beast. Alright, so as you're parting the waters, you part the waters under like an underground kind of cove deal, and Thunderjaw's there. He has him pinned under one of his giant feet, and he's chewing on him, trying to pull him apart.
Ow. Ow.
And it stops when the water goes away and starts to look up at you and makes that T-Rex noise. So it's gonna try and kill you. There's a cut coming at you.
Well, I guess I put myself in danger, therefore swing the spotlight? That's how it goes?
Sure. I guess I'll swing the spotlight to you now that you're no longer being absconded with.
Ow.
What do you want to do? Your friend's about to get killed by a T-Rex.
Okay. I, knowing this would happen, planted traps on myself and immediately attack him with one of my dart traps, which makes him sluggish and tired, giving everyone hope to deal with him.
Okay. Alright.
And that's... yeah.
Do you want to also roll overcome? Try to kind of direct him away from attacking me or something?
I guess I could, try.
I don't know, Ian. What would be interesting?
I mean, what would be interesting?
Well, I thought that was interesting enough. I thought now that he's slow, you could have a chance, but...
It's all disrupted and stuff.
But no, I can try and overcome him to help you out, because it's... let's see
Yeah,
here.
give me so much flack.
Roll blood. Okay. So I will... now that he's slowed down, I will try and kind of push him so that he's off balance, because he's moving slower towards Viator, and I'm going to just kind of give him a nudge, which will give Viator enough time to move out of the way.
Okay.
And I get hope against him.
Why do you get hope?
Because I hit him with
Stop.
my dart trap, so anyone
Gotcha.
attacking him gets hope.
Alright, go for it.
There we go. That'll be an 11.
Alright.
Oh no, sorry. That'll be a 10.
On overcome?
On
10
overcome.
plus.
Alright, you overcome the cut coming towards Peter.
Perfect.
Woo!
Deadly, deadly cut. Okay, I guess at this point we could swing the spotlight back to you, Amble.
Yeah, who's been lying in wait.
Yeah, you hear roaring and sounds of combat.
So what I did is I took my girder and I bent it into a U and made a little bench out of it. And then I sat down on that bench and then I just started smoking an Energon cigarette. Watching
Cygar.
A Cygar.
That's actually from canon. That's canon.
Start playing the Metal Gear Solid
Yeah.
thing.
Those are they're called Cygars, and they use Energon to get you high.
And I'm just watching this all happen. And we're like, well, guess it's about time I leapt into action, showed these whippersnappers how it's done.
The Ghost of Cup approves.
So what do I roll for this?
What are you
Sense?
trying to do? What do you want?
Well, I'm supposed
Oh,
to.
you're not doing your thing anymore.
No, that's gone.
That reveals the beast.
Okay,
The beast
so
is
I
right
don't-
there.
I don't do my lying in wait.
Nope. You
Okay.
can try it later, though.
All right. So what's the situation?
They're fighting a T-Rex, and that T-Rex is going to really wreck them if it gets a chance to bite them.
Okay.
I guess create an advantage and someone can finish them.
Yep. All right, no-sees. It's time for us to shine. And we just, I pick up my girder, I unbend it back into its straight form, and then I charge in with the no-sees, and start occupying the T-Rex.
Okay.
What's that move you have when the Nazis are riding you in battle?
They're not, the no-sees aren't riding me.
So I'm going to give you the Thunderjaw stats that aren't secret. Crushing Jaw. Anything the Thunderjaw bites is destroyed. Companions are immediately taken out.
Ooh.
And players take 3 damage for being bitten. Lightning Veins. Thunderjaw can spit bolts of lightning. When this stat becomes damaged, Thunderjaw lets out an explosive blast of lightning in every direction.
That's
And
nice.
Gigantic. Its attacks are giant, which means your no-sees, if they're they're not really a group, but thematically speaking, this thing can eat entire groups.
Okay.
Neat.
And then it has 3 secret stats.
Oh no.
Yeah. Because it's the hunting elephant.
I'm gonna transform into my beast form.
Sure.
Come at this guy.
King Kong versus T-Rex.
Yeah. What's the name of the lizard from Rampage? Lizzie?
I think it's Lizzie.
Yeah. I am going to have my no-sees surround it and harass it. And I'm going to use them to generate advantage to try and take it out.
Alright. So, what is that? Keeping them busy?
Well, I'm going to use my no-sees to attack it to generate advantage.
Oh, you're
And
gonna
then I'm
use
gonna
their
try
stats?
and- yeah, I'm going to burn a stat with them
Yeah.
to try and
The Bonds
finish
of
it.
Servitude. Okay, you burn a Bonds of Servitude, you have advantage. The no-sees are keeping distracted, it's looking down at them like it's about to try and kill them.
Do you have something piercing or what have you?
I do not have piercing.
Would you like me to use the piercing thing to disable its, kill jaws?
Yeah, if you come on scene to distract, and then the angel gets a shot in if you want. I don't know. Depends on how you want to play it.
No.
Sure. Instead of burning a bond with the no-sees to set myself up for advantage, I am going to try and keep it busy.
Go for it.
I'm going to run in and I am just going to smack it across the face with my girder and say, yeah, I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to smack it.
Yeah, you're passionate. Cool. Go for it. Keep them busy.
Which is courage.
Yup.
And you roll with hope.
Yep. Which I needed to get an 8.
There you go.
Aha.
So, do you pay? No, you don't pay the
They
price.
will retaliate against you when the time is up.
For now.
Yeah, so I create a momentary advantage for you, but they are going to retaliate against me later.
Yeah, so you now have a cut coming your way.
Neat.
Alright, what do you do, Angel? Angel Dust. This would be a great game for JoJo's if people watched that and knew what it was.
You mean JoJo's Bizarre Adventure?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone here watches it like a lot, right?
Seen some of it.
I read the manga up to the Stone Mask. And I don't remember because that was 10 years ago.
I watched a little bit and yeah, it's a thing.
It seems fun. I just haven't had time.
That's stupid at times, but
I just have. There's 800 episodes.
that's too much, man. Okay, I think I'll try to overwhelm them with grace, using my words as a weapon, my words of stop, as I'll shoot a piercing laser out of my eye, just doing a Death Star
Eye
super
lasers.
laser.
Eye lasers. Or are you in Unicron mode?
Yeah?
Oh my god, yeah, so you're doing the Death Star laser.
Yep. Yeah. That's a 7, 8, 9. So I damage its stat.
Perfect.
So damage the maws or whatever. The thing that does so much damage. What's going on, Devin?
So, its unknown power is tied into its armored hide. You have to burn through its hide before you can actually get through to pierce its vital organs. It has a carapace of Naquita enforced armor.
Even if I have piercing?
Yep. Its unknown powers, I give it a tag of my choice, and the tag I have chosen to give it redirects all attacks to its armor.
Ah. Welp.
I'm gonna be a bastard man.
Oh no. A threat that doesn't go down in one swing.
Yep.
How novel.
Right?
Yeah. That should be a default for like bigger things, pretty much.
Well, there's a lot in here that kind of does that now, so it's fine. It's fine.
Okay.
So you know 2 of its 3 stats. Armored Beast, this thing is indestructible, so you have to damage it 4 times, and it actually says you cannot finish them on a 10+, it only does the damage.
That's nice.
You gotta burn through them. So those quality of life updates are actually in there now.
So how much damage do we have to do to the armor?
Sorry.
4. We did 1 so far.
Yeah, and then you have to start burning through its actual stats because it front loads them. Aww.
Well, time to pile up on it.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, spinning from you, you tear into its hide, and it doesn't seem to hurt it all that much, actually. We have that cut coming to you where the creature's going to try and kill and bite you, and there's a cut coming to you now, Ian, where you're picking up inbound vehicles.
Okay.
The military's on the way.
Great.
So, 2 cuts coming towards you guys. How are you resolving them?
It's trying to bite me.
Yeah, it's gonna bite.
I'm going to overcome it by grabbing my girder off the ground, spinning it around, and then jamming it in its jaws.
Go for it.
So, 11.
Perfect. So yeah, that means with an 11 and overcome, you stop the obstacle or whatever from causing harm. Perfect, perfect. So yeah, it's biting down on the girder, cartoon style, while you're getting away and getting the no-sees out of its kind of threat range. What are you up to, Ian? And then we'll pivot back around.
I got these vehicles incoming, right?
Yep, looks like choppers or jets.
Okay, I'm gonna burn a useful item and say it's some kind of explosive charge, and I'm gonna throw it off in the distance. It's because we have comms with all these people. I'm gonna be like, "There's another thing over there. Something's going on. Let those giant robots deal with it. Get the other thing, and throw the charge and have it just explode somewhere so they get distracted by that."
That seems like overcome or keep them busy then.
Yeah.
That sounds like damaging the natural area, just kidding.
Oh, I know.
I think wasn't it they can only check that off once per visit the location?
I don't think that's the case if you start rapidly changing an entire culture.
Yeah, I think there was something about
Keep them
that.
busy. Distraction to buy some time. I roll with courage. And I do not have hope. So let's give this a try.
Nice.
Hey, that'll be a 9.
They'll retaliate against you when your time's up. So when they realize that you've tricked them, they're going to come for you.
That's fair.
All right, so we'll swing back to...
Yeah, I'm going to crack my knuckles and go, "No-sees. Run around, flank this guy. I got a feeling it's weaker on the inside. I'm going in." And then I'll jump up into its jaws and run down its throat.
Oh my god. I don't even know what that is. What is that? What am I supposed to do with that?
I'm going to start punching it from the inside.
What am I supposed to do with that?
I'm trying to finish him.
How do you get advantage? From your no-sees?
From the no-sees that are punching it from the outside.
Right. Bounds of servitude on the no-sees. Cool.
Okay.
Click off one of their stats, and you're going to go try and finish him from the inside.
Oh, don't get swallowed.
What am I supposed to do with this?
Well, that's
We have dice trays.
like 10 already there.
Yeah, it's already 12.
Alright. Yeah, so you
making
go
me
on the
bend
inside of
forwards.
it and start tearing it
this
apart
flexible.
and punching it up and making it hurt. So they're paying off its armored beast. Alright, it's shrieking and it's like breathing in, and you can feel energy hum on the inside of it. You can see, you all can detect on your scanners the telltale signatures of sulfur as the heavy reactors inside of it, its natural reactors, start to go into a meltdown and start cracking atoms as it's powering up for its attack.
Oh god.
It's charging up its attack.
Yeah, so I'm throwing a soft cut at all of you. It's about to attack all of you with its area attack.
What's it doing? How's that happening?
It's gonna breathe radioactive lightning on everything, and it's gonna pour out of its pores.
It's a breath attack?
Yeah, breath and the back of its like body holes, those cooling towers.
I'm going to try and overcome this cut because I'm already inside of its throat by just like jamming my limbs in every direction to block it and then supercharging my overshield to bear the brunt of it.
I love that you remember that it's an overshield. Perfect. Just trying to keep these terms in your guys' heads. Makes it more natural.
Hey.
Plus.
Yeah, that's an 11.
Yeah, alright. Okay, you instantly hold that attack off, and it starts to reconsider what it's going to be doing. What are you two up to?
Well, time to pummel it. So
Do you
set
wanna
me up,
give-
I guess.
Do you can do 2 damage?
Nobody can do 2 damage, I don't think.
There are ways.
Well, I
That some would
have
consider
necrotic
unnatural.
I too have
and
necrotic.
piercing. On
Piercing
one.
doesn't do anything to get rid of its armor.
Oh,
yes.
yeah.
So just
that's
necrotic.
Okay, so you have necrotic as well.
Yep. Those are monsters.
Well, yes,
Necrotic's
we are.
nightmare.
Do we both want to attack it? If we burn something, we could probably both attack it.
Well, we can narratively both attack it, but someone needs to set someone up.
Okay. Let me see here.
What's your sense? To look closely, maybe?
Look closely.
If you guys want to attack, I can give you advantage.
Do it.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to use one of my animal traits. I'm going to use my prehensile tail to, while I'm like jammed in its mouth with my fists up in its jaw.
Right.
I'm gonna have my tail reach out and start tickling its nostril to make it sneeze.
Nice.
Alright, perfect. Yeah, it starts to have like a breathing problem.
Do you roll for that, or does it just happen?
He's getting
I
a
use
stat.
my animal trait.
Okay.
Yeah.
He gets extra stats for being a beast. Also, real organic way to just have a beast mode. You just like, I take the beast thing. Done.
Yeah.
So while that's happening, I transform from my Unicron body into my normal transformer thing, and take out a large whip of light. That's my necrotic weapon, the whip of truth, and finish them.
Oh, alright.
Yeah, that's 10 plus.
God damn, you guys are just whacking this thing.
Oh, helps. The sleeping dart helps. Necrotic damage. To the
Alright,
armor.
another
Can you
damage.
overcharge necrotic damage?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Double its effect?
No. Necrotic does what necrotic does.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, so then I can't overcharge that. I'm just trying to see what I can give. If I can boost anything in any way.
You just need to do 1 more damage to
Oh, okay.
get through its armor.
Okay.
Any
Well,
Then
you need to build
let's-
advantage.
Yeah, you need to build
Yeah.
damage.
Let me see here. Build advantage. Okay, so I have jetpacks. I'm gonna spend one of those. And I'm gonna boost myself from underneath this guy's claw, coming up above, pulling out that sword you guys saw again. That like just twisted. It looks like now that I've seen Waspinator again, this sword's got a lot more messed up since the last time you guys saw it. It just keeps getting more and more war crimey. Let's just call it that. It's terrifying. Yeah. So I pull this sword out, and now that I've boosted myself up far above in the sky, I'm just gonna come crashing down like a spear from above, like sword pointed down, trying to impale this thing.
All right, go for it.
Okay.
Maybe you just tackle it affront to nature and a war crime.
That's fair. A little bit of both.
Yeah.
I mean, it is technology based on a dying guy in a tube I have, so that's a little bit war crimey. But definitely an affront to nature. I'm using blood, so that'll be a 9.
Damage it.
Woo! All right, so that takes out the last of its armor plating.
That's necrotic, so that, yeah.
Boop, gone.
That. Whew.
Time to go for the real stats.
Yeah.
You guys both have piercing, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to focus on keeping it busy.
I can give
So-
you a weapon with piercing.
Other shoe drops. Military is now coming to your location. They're telling any unauthorized personnel to leave because they are going to open fire now.
Okay.
That is your only warning. They're starting to open fire. So, you guys, all three of you have cuts coming at you individually as covering fire is rain down on you from like machine guns and missiles and energy weapons.
Okay.
Okay.
I am going to overcome this by grabbing the tongue of the beast and grabbing the roof of its mouth and then clamping it shut around me so that I am protected from the incoming missiles and bullets by
It.
it.
Go for it. All right.
Yeah, that's 11.
God damn. All right, you close its jaw around you. What do you guys got?
So I'm standing on this thing's head, like with my sword half stuck in it. I'm just gonna like hunker down right on top of this thing's head, holding steady, and just brace for impact. Trying to overcome it with sheer will of like brute strength.
Okay, and what are you doing with that?
You just take the damage to do.
Yeah, I guess I'm just gonna take the damage. Yeah. So I'll
Alright,
damage
you can
one
let
stat.
yourself-
Yeah.
Yeah, damage a stat.
Okay, I damaged my grace. So I'm just sitting there like,
You're getting
I'll just
rained down.
take all this damage. I'm not giving up this spot. It's a good spot to kill this thing.
All right, Inviator.
I'll take my damage to my pride so I can start, dealing with them. As the tiny rain down, I'm going to look closely at them to prepare an advantage for myself.
Go for it.
Yeah. 8, 9. So I find one of the answers the hard way, but yeah, I get 3 questions, something. So, what are they here for? What will they do next? And is there something hidden?
They're here to kill the beast. They're going to keep shooting next. There's an orbital kill sat in place getting alignment ready.
Okay.
Do.
So I guess that's a low orbit, maybe?
Yeah. An orbital ion cannon.
Okay, I'll need to deal with that, I guess. Okay, guys, we have an orbital incoming.
That's on you?
I guess yes. I'll just have to just fly up onwards onto it. And I guess I'll be trying to finish it. Disable that orbital.
Alright. Do you need to build advantage on it? Or
I mean,
it's going to take time for you to get up there. So you got to go into orbit, right?
Okay.
Like low orbit. So let's skip to you two and then we'll come back to you on a rotation.
Sure.
So we've got like incoming ships and crafts that are around us that are firing.
Yup.
One thing. Okay. I am going to speak clearly. I am going to lift myself up and I'm going to like jack open the jaws of the beast and just step forth from its mouth and be like, "You guys really want to scrap with this?"
This is beautiful. I'm just like sitting on top of its head like a single tear, just wow. Gorgeous.
Listen, we've got this situation well under control. You guys are just gonna scrap this up. You need to calm down, cool your guns, and go back to protecting the people.
Alright, what are you throwing at me for that?
So I roll Speak Softly, and if I succeed, then I can change one of my questions into an order.
Okay.
So having a quiet chat with someone.
Yes, but speak clearly lets me do that to a crowd.
Which
Okay.
you have. So
Yes.
yeah, this is exactly what it's for.
Yeah. Yep.
And that is sense?
Yeah, wisdom.
Wisdom. Okay, just as good. That is 9.
Nice.
So there is some drawback to it, but I still get my
No, the answer
questions.
is not helpful.
Yes. Sorry. So one of the answers is not helpful. Either they refuse to answer or they reveal a terrible truth you didn't want to hear, but I can still change one of the questions into an order.
All right, what's your order?
My order is stand down.
Okay, and what are your 2 questions?
Who sent you? And
The answer is basically different regional governors that are trying to deal with these Titan problems and don't really care about the fallout.
my other question is, what is your objective here?
That's where the terrible truth is going to come into play. Their objective here is to hold it in one place long enough with harassing fire so the kill sat can lock it down.
Okay.
Then they're going to leave because the kill sat's going to fire. It's going to take out a good chunk of the speech.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I can order them to stand down.
Yeah, they're going to leave
Okay.
because you're holding it in one place.
And you will deal with the kill sack.
Yup.
Yep.
The Odin satellite in orbit.
Okay.
Or I think it's called like the Hunan and Munin satellite or some shit, and in the actual canon it's called the Odin.
Well, could be the rods from the gods.
Basically. I think I stole this from Final Fantasy the Spirits with him.
Yeah, because the whole rods from the gods is like one of the satellite weapons that doesn't use any nuclear weapons, whatever, but it's like really hard to counter because just pure mass rods just going for the orbital speed down, and you can't deflect it, can't blow it up.
No, it just uses physics to do the thing. It
Yup.
creates a mushroom cloud and everything, but doesn't even create radiation.
Yup.
Okay, so you've got to deal with the beast.
Yeah.
We're hacking the game's physics engine.
What does the giant tag do again?
Attacks multiple people.
It means it can basically hit all of you guys, but I looked it up. It doesn't mean that you have to have a bunch of people to hit it, though. As far as I can
No, like if I gave something I had a giant tag, I don't think it would be useful.
It wouldn't help.
Yeah.
No, unless you're doing research on this.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going
I can't
to.
believe one of the new set pieces is the Unkillable Lich after how we ended the first season of your game. That's going to be payoff.
Next season.
Start
The
with
Leaps.
fire. Okay.
I love that. I definitely played a different character because Goblin King was 2 and they don't live that long. Not even heroes.
Okay, I gotta deal with this thing. So, I'm going to try and get an advantage to overcome this.
Sure.
Or to finish them, sorry. So I need to gain advantage. I will use my I've got just the thing. And it's going to have
You want me to pause?
Sorry. No, I'm good.
Okay.
I pull out this weird vial and I uncork it, throw it on the ground right by its feet, and it starts burning the ground. Setting.
Imagine it being like a cube.
Okay, this weird like cube.
It's a cube container because everything's cubic.
That's fair. And then I take the lid and I just start eating the lid, and it's gonna heal me 1, and it's gonna set the ground around him on fire, which is gonna distract this monster long enough for me to continuously I just picture myself still standing it on its head, just pushing the sword deeper and deeper into it.
Are you finishing with blood?
That sounds like blood.
Yeah.
Yeah, remember if you kill this thing, it was all for nothing.
Disable it.
But I can't.
What do you mean you can't?
I don't think I can do enough damage to actually kill
Oh
it.
no, now that the armor's gone, if you finish it, it dies.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Then
If you 10
wait,
plus it,
then
it'll instantly
okay.
die.
Okay, then I need to
No-
finish it
no
with
police.
something else. I need to finish it with
Sense, disable it? What was it?
wisdom. Is wisdom a thing?
That's for making friends, you.
Show
No
them.
red
Forge a
advantages.
bond with it. See,
To
bond
show
we're
the error
both
of its
fighters.
ways.
Okay, so you created an advantage by setting its feet on fire.
Yeah.
So,
And then I'm going to knock it out with sense, I guess.
Yeah.
To physically. So I'm just gonna
start stomping on its brain.
Yeah, like just pull the sword out and just start kicking it in the head.
Stomp on its brain until it jiggles its brain enough that it goes into a coma.
Yep. That's my goal.
All right, there we go. Much more reasonable.
That will be a 10.
Okay, you finish it. It's out. You stomp on it until it goes unconscious into a light coma.
There we go.
Okay, it reflexively starts to swallow.
I'm not inside it anymore.
Oh, you jumped out, right. Fine. I just imagine its head going down as you're beside it. You're like, look, we took care of it. I'm not even inside its mouth. They can't swallow me. And then it's like one of the noses walks by, it just goes, oh god.
Alright, it's all you,
In
aviator.
space, the Odin cannon is charging up, and it has a mass driver round prepped, locked on. It's going to shoot straight down and nuke that place.
Well, I guess I had an advantage for discovering it, so I'm just going to, disable it.
Sure, we'll give you advantage, and you can try and finish it.
Yeah. Ooh, I rolled poorly. That's like a 5.
Is this because it's more interesting, Peter?
Well, I'm sorry that this doesn't have a way to up these things and so on. Sometimes, well, I guess it's
So
all...
you don't get there in time, and the mass driver round fires. I will give you guys, because this technically could just be a hard cut to go, because I telegraphed it. You two collectively get one single thing to stop this round from killing the kaiju.
This is a physical...
A physical mass driver round is coming down in high
I'm
speed.
gonna baseball bat it out. I'm gonna grab my girder and I'm
Light
just gonna
bridge.
leap up on top of the unconscious beast. I'm gonna prime it up.
Alright, I'm gonna hit you with despair for this to allow you to do it.
Can I prep something in case he fucks up?
No, you get one.
Damn it. Okay.
I'm going to use my wild side.
Okay,
I'm going to push my limits, burning out to draw immediate strength,
there it
which
is.
makes me tap one of my animal traits, which is going to be overwhelming strength,
There
which is
it is.
applicable in this, which gives me vigor, which means I roll with hope and cannot have despair.
There you go, you did it. Taxing your resources.
Ooh, I needed that.
Yeah, you did.
So this is blood, I would say.
Overcome.
Yeah, it sounds like it's blood.
Okay. In that case,
oh,
it is a
thank
10.
God.
Alright, you completely overcome this, channeling your overshield into the swing and all of your strength and taking off limiters. The teletrans system in your head is talking about stasis lock being an option because of the danger. You swing at the mass driver around and deflect it elsewhere. Nice.
Hopefully not on the planet.
Probably into the water somewhere.
Yeah.
It's gonna, like, you see in the distance a mushroom cloud from the water. It's gonna start raining here soon.
Yeah.
Alright. It starts reloading.
Viator, can we not have another one of those, please?
Okay, I'm going to look closely at it to start figuring it out. What would be the best way to approach this?
Also, defense systems on it are starting to target you.
Okay. So I rolled an 8. So I found one of the answers the hard way. Let's see. Something hidden out of place will look suspicious.
The smile on Devin's face.
So, alright, what's your first question, bud?
Is there something hidden out of place? If so, it looks suspicious.
What looks suspicious are all those panels flipping open with missile pods on them that are currently shooting you. Take damage.
Fine. I'll use my armor from my ward stop to just, defend them with my overshield.
Yeah, alright. What's your next question, bud?
What will happen if I disable this, satellite?
The mass drive around it's currently loading won't fire. But it's about to. That's the hard way.
I don't think that's good enough for the questions.
Oh, what's your other question? You find out the hard way.
Tell me about this mass driver. How can it hurt me? How will it help me?
Its defense systems will absolutely keep shooting at you until it shreds your overshield. How it can help you is you could probably aim it at other kaiju you hate to kill.
Who do we hate?
Or you could load you could probably load a modified capsule into its drive bay and fire it away from the planet. You know, to travel fast.
Mass driver.
It goes pretty fast.
Yeah.
It accelerates towards C.
Hyperspace ram.
The Holdo maneuver. That movie was great.
Well, I'll try to disable them.
Go for it.
That's an 8.
Disable with what? What's the move happening here?
I'm, well, plus sense to finish them, to disable them. With
Oh, because you had advantage.
Yes.
Right.
With my piercing Death Star laser. What are its stats?
How's that sense? Shooting a laser at it?
No, sense to target it.
Oh, okay. That makes sense
Yep.
then. Okay.
Alright, and what did you get on your finish them roll?
8.
Oh, so you get to do damage. Okay, so it has mass defense system. It has heavily armored. This stat must be damaged first. And it has mass driver cannon.
If I have piercing, can I bypass that other thing?
Sure.
Fine, I'll just disable the mass driver cannon.
Okay.
I guess I'll just fall back into the atmosphere then. I don't care about the rest, as long as it cannot fire.
Alright, they'll have to work on fixing it. Or getting another one in orbit. There are multiple ones in orbit, so it's just...
Well, we should move this thing fast
Yeah.
before another one comes up.
I'm gonna chain the nosies up like sled dogs and have them start pulling the beast.
Amazing.
They start chanting as they start pulling.
Happy Halloween!
Yeah, I think it didn't get to escape, which is a shame, because then you'd have to go the whole thing over again, but you took care of it too well.
We're sorry.
No, it's fine. I can close its stat block. I don't need it anymore. It's irrelevant. Yeah, you guys defeat the threat and are able to drag it back to your Shatter Dome. So, let's do... And we're back. So, you have Thunderjaw and Knifehead in your Shatter Dome and are playing around with it. So, you're going to infect this thing and just kind of take a look at what happens to it over the course of the disease going terminal.
Yeah.
Alright, that is, for a creature this size, you have a pretty virulent strain of Cybonic Plague straight from the source with Waspinator.
Yep.
So, it's going to take 15 days for him to go from healthy to terminal.
That's a long time.
Can we speed that up in any way?
That is sped up.
Well, it gives us time to work on the social tract, I guess.
Yup.
Yeah.
Yeah, time's going to come up with this.
I just...
Because...
Yeah.
But at the end of it, you should have transmission and prevention. Or, no, wait, you already have transmission. You should have prevention and treatment.
Yeah.
It's worth it.
A double win?
Yeah. I'm just wondering if I can use something to...
Oh yeah, we'll skip to like the next day.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, we're...
So the next day, the stats have jumped significantly. There are 5,000 confirmed cases of infection, 400 are dead this day alone, and the total has jumped up to over 2,000 dead.
While we're at the CDC and we're having a little downtime, I'm gonna pop out Screamo and just kind of heal both myself and Aviator up.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Boop, boop. Remember when your healing was a problem at some point?
Right? Remember healing?
All right. Well, we're getting all the legwork done on this cure, but this whole society is still a mess.
Yeah.
We gotta enact some policies.
You mean to fix the society or just to...
I'm worried
Deal
about
with
the
the-
plague right now.
Yeah.
The society can come later.
Okay, so what do we need? What do we have?
Well-
What's left to be done?
We have... I mean, of the Barons we've talked to, we talked to Baron Orlaith, who's just a power-hungry nobody.
Do we have vaccines?
We're getting them.
We will.
That's
In 2 weeks?
yeah. In 2 weeks we'll have vaccines.
We have treatment.
In 2 weeks we'll have treatment.
Okay, so I guess we should be preparing for that. Do you have a way to mass produce all of that when we get it?
In 2 weeks, I'm sure we'll have that.
Okay, so we'll need to have boots on the ground to distribute all of that.
Yes, but we need to quarantine everyone into proper areas, because we can't just have random outbreaks, and then we need policies in place to maintain those quarantines and distribute the vaccination before we can distribute said vaccination. As I say, Baron Orley is a terrible it's terrible, but he's kind of in charge of this place. If we can get him at least on our side enough to shut some of this down, we can deal with the political ramifications later.
Suppose we could.
What do you think, Campbell?
I think we should go talk to the man.
Okay. We're just gonna go burst in his building.
Okay.
We're not gonna deal with the whole oracles or anything, I don't think, at this point.
Sure.
We're just gonna knock on his door.
And by knock, we mean flat.
Makes sense. All right, so you guys burst into Baron Orlev
Yeah.
and demand an audience.
Yeah.
Okay. His security force isn't gonna. They're gonna try and like stop you from entering the building without like passes and stuff because you're giant robot titans.
They're
So the
not
doors-
gonna stop us, sorry?
They're there. They're gonna lock the door.
Hmm.
They're not gonna open the door to the building.
We will open the door.
All right, alarms start going off. Oh shit! You hurt
Yes?
wildlife. Oh.
Let's double check that thing.
Yeah, you did, buddy. Oh, interesting. That was supposed to be swapped around. Yeah, alright. Just assume. No, wait, no, that makes sense. Okay. So that changes a few things because you attacked the Titan originally and the orbital things and the police, and now that you're breaking into a building, that jumps you up to danger level 7, which means my cuts are now hard cuts,
Oh, great.
which I've been representing on the infection sheet. If you've been paying attention, the projections have been rapidly increasing. And now the Titans have officially risen. Like, they are now all over the planet, breaching the crust, attacking cities, shutting down major systems.
Okay.
We go.
Clickety-clack.
Alright, so yeah, alarms start going off, and security lockdown, like, plating starts to shield the building. It goes into, what do you call it? Bunker mode.
Lockdown.
Yeah. There was a term for it from Judge Dredd, I don't remember. When the Peachtree megastructure went into whatever. I don't remember what it's called. Siege mode or something.
You know what? As everything's starting to shut down, I'm gonna be like, I'm sick, I'm tired of all this blinking planet and their rules, and I'm just gonna pull out an item, a very, very precious item. I'm gonna be like, Baron Orlaith, we demand an audience. I'll give you this. Let's hurry it up. There's people dying.
Max, Ruby.
What does that thing do again? Tell me what it
It's
does again.
when I flaunt it, they desire it above all else.
Alright, yeah, you bypass this and go right to counter relief then. A Mox Ruby.
Black Lotus.
A Chaos Orb? Alright, he will meet with you. But that story went live on the air and stuff.
Okay.
Of us trying to just bust in.
Yeah, just smashing into
That's
a fucking
fair.
government building of the biggest governor on the planet.
I I wonder how long the news will stay on. It seems that they would just want to continue on up until the apocalypse.
Right?
They'll be interviewing the last person dying. Just think of the rating, 100% viewership.
Okay. So we just bust into his...
Yeah, he'll bring you up to, he'll let you up.
I'll just like toss it towards him.
A chaos orb.
I'm tired of this planet.
I'm tired of these people getting entangled in their lives. Dr. Manhattan.
Well, Baron Orlaith.
You wanted an audience.
Yes, we demanded an audience.
Well, you're here now.
Well, we're working on producing the cure for this virulent disease and the vaccination. They should be ready in about 2 weeks. So we should be preparing to help cure everyone and prevent the spread and what have you. Is that about it? Anything else we need?
We need your help to prevent... We need your help with logistics.
Look, I'm gonna cut right to the chase. I don't like you, and you don't like him.
You see him as a piñata full of cards that are rare and valuable.
But we need to get something done here. People are dying, and you're in a position of power. Now, you can either help us and end up king of the world, or you can hold out and end up king of the ashes. It's really up to you.
Are you giving you Jedi wisdom or something?
No, I'm just talking to him right now.
Alright. There are policies that have to be followed, of course. I can't quite take action without direct approval from the Oracles and the Star League on their quarantine and their representative in space.
When it comes right down to it, when people are dying in the streets, and they get your people, what species is
Baron.
it? Barons? We just
Yeah.
call them
That's
barons.
just what they're called. It's like an old 70s sci-fi where it's like, oh, that's Johnson's alien or whatever. It's like, those are the, like, and it just has a really plain name, like, those are the unicorns.
Yeah.
The
Just that kind of
Metal
sci-fi.
And a baron gets an order from another baron. Is he really going to spend the time to question whether or not the oracles approved it?
Depends on how interested they are in ascending from their position.
Well, we do have some oracles that are listening quite intently to us, unless they died by now.
Oh, they went terminal.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
They were the first infected, dude.
If we only kept their keys so we can sign stuff for them.
Look, do you want to spend the rest of your life being an underwriter for the oracles? Or at a certain point...
Depends on who's under me when I'm being an underwriter. How many people are under me? How many lives do I control?
The planet.
I mean, yes, I want that. Obviously.
But what if you could get that without the oversight?
That's a tricky situation. I can't get rid of the oracles now that they're here.
I mean,
Oracles are dying left and right. How many do you think will be here at the end?
Well, there's live ones in orbit reporting back to the Star League.
we do have a lot of dirt on the oracles, how they contributed to this outbreak.
You could help raise your position against them. Leverage it in the Star League. Say that your planet has...
I mean, if I had a petitioning member of the Star League vote that we can independently run ourselves.
Well, I mean, considering
No petitioning members of the Star League.
we are petitioning members of the Star League.
Oh.
You never left.
We never officially turned our badge in. We still kept our counts.
Well, then it sounds like you're talking to the right people.
So, it would seem, there is a problem of who's to blame.
The Oracles, clearly.
Seems pretty clear that they let the situation get well out of hand.
Star League isn't going to let their peacekeepers fall on their own sword. It'll be a publicity nightmare. Someone has to be blamed.
I mean, we do
An
have this.
acceptable target needs to be blamed.
I mean, we do have this Decepticon that has spread a disease on this planet. This Decepticon.
Yeah. You can blame the Decepticons.
Oh, if Cybertron wants to take one on the chin.
Well, the Decepticons. Let's be clear.
You would basically admit that this entire situation was your fault. You came in to clean it up, and because of that, you're petitioning us to have independent action because of our bravery and heroism in dealing with the crisis.
It was our fault. One of our guys went a little rogue. As much as I don't like taking it on the chin, I'm a robot who's willing to admit their mistakes.
A bot would have also been acceptable.
The truth is, this mess is our fault. And if us admitting that helps us solve it, then that's something we're willing to do. Scrap, we do it anyways.
Alright, then that all lines up. What do we need to do?
Policies.
We need strict quarantine measures, starting as soon as possible, to get all those infected under control, all those not infected away from said infected, and limiting travel all across the whole planet. That's the first step.
We're currently having a strike. Shutting down travel has become problematic.
We can end that strike very quickly.
Interesting.
I mean, we say that unless it has gone out of control by now. In binary.
The strike is turning planet-wide as the plague picks up.
He doesn't need to know that.
Well, some of them, then nobody will be
It
traveling.
seems the strike would work in favor of transportation being shut down. I don't understand how it's causing problems for you.
People are moving freely and aren't being checked. There's no quarantine in place. There's no way to actually make sure that people who are infected aren't crossing borders into clean zones. The system is breaking down.
Excuse these rusty circuits, but I'm pretty sure that was the status quo before the strike.
No, we had ways to track the laborers. We had things organized. Their disruption of labor is making it difficult to rein this in.
Well, you're a man who understands quid pro quo. I mean, you just phrased it to us. We can help end the strike, as my associate said, but we're gonna have to throw a couple carrots out.
You want someone to blame.
I don't know if it's a question of blame. I think it's more a question of them feeling like they got something out of this.
They get to live.
That's
You
not
get
gonna
to
cut
live.
it.
What are their demands?
You know how you have the whole family day? That's a big deal to these people. What say we promise that once the plague is over and things are under control, we double those visitations.
Oh, just 2 instead of 1 a month?
No. Sorry. We
That's reasonable.
quadruple.
4 instead of once a month.
Yes.
That's actually really reasonable. All right. I thought you were going to ask for equal rights or their freedom. Sure, we can do that. And I'm almost certain I can get someone to blame for this, so it all works out.
Perfect.
Just because I'm a curious bot. Who exactly do you have in mind?
Something will come up. I'm sure I'll figure it out from there. I have files.
Very well.
Everyone has a shit list. of people they've wronged, and people that
It's coming back! It's coming back!
as we discussed this today about Devon's list.
I don't have like a real enemies list, but it's like, oh, I met someone online. It's like, what was their screen name? What community were they from? I've crossed a lot of people. They crossed me. I've made enemies, Morty. Alright. Yeah, I mean, ends as amicably as it possibly could have.
Yeah.
As you head outside, where are you going to next?
I mean, just because we promised that they won't, we'll settle for that doesn't mean we can't still turn out after everything's fixed and help the laborers.
We better go talk to the laborers.
Yeah.
I guess.
Okay, driving out to them means you're going to get a cut from the weather.
Okay.
Protection.
You're good.
Is this a location effect?
I don't know how that's defined, because this isn't the location stats, this is just...
Okay, if it's not a location stat, then it's...
Yeah, it's not
I'm
that.
just gonna take it.
Alright, damage a stat.
Yep.
No, well, describe what the cut is.
Well, the soft cut is the weather effect, the Naquita storms,
Yeah.
and like the pollution, it's that.
So, like, what exactly is... Because I need to... I would
Before
like
it was
to
coming,
overcome it, but I need
before
to
it was
figure out-
coming up your systems, and you like were scrubbing yourself and like using overshields and stuff, and that worked out fine, I think.
Yeah.
Or no, you failed and it really messed you up.
Yeah.
You got damage, so you healed that. That's fine.
Yeah.
Take damage, heal it.
You guys are gonna work with the laborers, and Jackpot's not here. Oh.
I mean, you could just end it soon if you want.
I don't know. We should keep going. We should get you close to having the plague under control, because the numbers are gonna start jumping.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just take damage, I guess.
Alright. You guys drive through the winding city, and the electrical like power outage, the infrastructure, like lights going off or bridges not fully connecting. You guys cross it all. You deal with the Naquita ionizing the atmosphere, and you make your way to a laborer civic center, basically. Ones that recognize you are there. Actually, it's going to take time for you to kind of get into contact with the ones that know you and kind of will work
You're
with
gonna
you.
call
So
it a day by.
we're going to call it a
that's
day.
fair. That's fair.
So the stats for we're on what, day 16?
Yup.
So day 16. Before it was at 5,000 infected. It has now jumped to 9,800 and climbing. The current dead today is 1,600. Oh no, 2,400. Putting the all-time number up to 5,000.
Damn.
It doubled basically in a day.
Yeah.
Things are breaking down.
Woo.
So yeah, those tick up, and you guys organize at the laborer camp or civic center. They're there. They're looking at you. They know you want to come talk. What's it all about?
We got some good news for you.
Mm-hmm.
So, this strike, it's got the Barons reeling. They're willing to cave in a bit if we're willing to end it. And in all honesty, I think that would be in everyone's best interest because it's going to help us get this plague under control. So you guys are you're gonna come out on top.
They're gonna triple family day.
Quadruple.
We want a low ball, then they're gonna retaliate, then we're gonna retaliate.
Okay, alright, you got a plan. I got you.
Well, what about limiting our movement, tracking us, taking our young away?
Look, family's important. I mean, tripling family day, that's, you were getting them once a month, you'll get them 3 times a month. That's pretty big.
People are talking amongst themselves, so a lot of them are agreeing that that's pretty big.
That's a lot, especially for the Barons. Like, you're talking about movement and freedoms. That's being able to see your young 3 times the amount of time, be able to travel 3 times the amount of time.
And the fact is, your movement is going to be limited. You're going to be tracked where you go. But the Barons are going to be limited in their movement. The Barons are going to be tracked where they go too. Just because that's what we got to do to get this disease under control.
We're talking about the future after the disease.
Right.
Yes.
After the disease, we renegotiate. We take it step by step.
I mean,
You don't get everything in one sweep.
in any advanced civilization, everyone is tracked. Because it's so easy just to, put cameras everywhere.
Look, we might be able to negotiate for 4 times visits, but that's the highest we can go.
Alright.
That's quadruple the number you're getting right now.
Speak softly?
Yeah, you guys should put a roll together now that you're all working together.
Do you wanna? Who's got the highest? Are we using sense or wisdom?
I think I'm taking point.
Yeah,
so
you go
I'll
for
speak
it.
with, and you're helping me out.
Yeah. Yeah. There we go.
That's a 10.
Yeah, alright. They'll start working towards you and start trying to call it off where they can with the people they're working with.
And again, this is just about getting the disease under control. Once this is all settled and done with, and we've got a cure and it's distributed, then we can re-examine this whole situation that you're in.
They seem pretty happy. They're agreeing with you. They're optimistic. Change is happening.
I mean, the Baron numbers are dwindling hard too, so change is on the horizon. We just gotta weather this storm.
I could always tell them that, the Barons will be having the oracles of this planet soon, which means that the old war could resume. Class warfare.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've done out of the way. Is there any way we can speed anything else up, or are we just wasting away the days? Or
Well, we
is there
have,
some way to mitigate something?
So did Orlave give us a date for when, when the quarantine is able to take effect? Once we
by the
dealt
time
with
next
the
family
language?
day, they'll be able to hit quarantine.
So a week from now.
So a week from now. And then we need to, so we should get policies in place for once that quarantine hits, the policies will be able to come into place as well, either the day after or something.
What?
So,
I just mean in 7 days, when the next family day happens, the
Yeah.
quarantine will come into effect.
yes.
And then policies they can probably kick in once the Thunderjaw experiment is done, because by then you'll have proof of vaccine, and he can use that to kick that through his superiors.
That's true. Okay, so
Okay. Do we need anything else?
complete. And and then we need a vaccine distribution set. We need to build a building that can manufacture large amounts of vaccines and distribute it efficiently. Like, we need drones to be able to distribute it all across this planet.
The vaccine distribution can be handled by the planet itself. You just need to be able to get the vaccine.
Okay.
And, it's a vaccine and the program.
Okay.
It's not really the infrastructure. It's not really like they don't need you to do the
Help the
infrastructure. They just need you to push the infrastructure into place.
Okay. So it looks like we're just waiting till day 30 or day
so
29.
I guess, is there some way for us to help mitigate the infection
deaths,
/
yeah.
deaths?
That's true.
I don't know. I hadn't really thought of that. Now that you're kind of waiting on downtime, it's just something that I hadn't considered. So, yeah, how would we want to do that?
Well, we could always either pause it and now reconvene next week to have another episode, or finish for now, have a shorter episode, and just come back strong next time with everything.
Well, let's start passing the time of showing the horrors of the plague, because, presumably you're going to be working the entire time, and I do have to throw one more twist in.
Do it.
Okay.
There is one more twist coming. I forgot about that.
So
Let me pause just so I can remember all the bits. Okay, we're back. So, day 17 rolls around. The infected total jumps up to the 13,000s. And you guys are within the CDC. Lights are still flickering. Power fluctuations are still weird. You're still processing the raw data on the 2 Titans, as well as just getting policies in place. Day 18 rolls around, and that number jumps to 50,000 infected. as more and more people who were previously infected and were asymptomatic start popping up on the grid and trying to navigate to their proper quarantine areas and try to get treatment. The strike essentially starts to end, but there's pockets of resistance and people fighting back, and there's sabotage happening across the planet.
Just remind me, how long do we wait for this to hunt this titan rather than asking one person to be the guinea pig? Oh, there.
Right?
Something called ethics, Peter.
The next day, that number jumps to 80,000. And still climbing. It's at this point that... yeah. So you're still processing the data, running the experiments and stuff, when something occurs to you, Amble. You're looking at Barons, and their biological material is infected, but it's at a pretty slow pace compared to what it'd be for a Cybertronian, or something that's Energon-based, right? Mm-hmm. And you look at their cybernetics, which while they're advanced, they're not quite as advanced as, say, the power plants here or your tech. They have a much slower corrupt degradation rate, but their cybernetics are degrading. And that's when you start probably doing research, and it takes about another day. So by day 20, we're at 132,000 infected, and you start to realize a few things. The Cybonic Plague is infecting large parts of the planet. Not just the biological, but the infrastructure. It's in the technology.
What, so the planet itself is infected?
Things that were exposed to it, by people, it's crossed over to their tech. But the tech's taking a much longer time to degrade and fall apart because it's not as advanced. There's less systems for the virus to attack. So not like the whole planet's tech's been affected, but it's spreading slowly from the power plant areas to places where people convene a lot, buildings. Eventually it'll cross onto streets. You're starting to see advanced metals starting to succumb to Cybonic Plague. There are patches of the city that are starting to get not perceptible to them, but perceptible to you because you know where to look. On a atomic level, they're starting to be pulled apart by the virus.
Huh.
It would probably take maybe years for that to fully mature.
Okay, we need to take microwaves and put them in quarantine. Infect one of them at least, and observe.
Oh, this is bad.
Scrap.
Really gotta get going on that vaccine.
Yeah.
So Family Day comes around the next day. The number jumps from 100,000 to 340,000.
And our dead jumps to 170,000.
Yeah, it does.
Oh.
There's a couple of reasons for that. One is a lot of the first and second generation people have by now started to die. And second, you're on the roof. Kaiju deaths, yeah. You're on the roof. Whoever wants to be there can be there, but at least one of you is. Who is?
Sure.
Sure.
Yeah.
The laborer doctor, Catherine. Catherine Hunter, I think?
It was Catherine something.
Yeah.
Catherine Hunter.
Catherine Hunter, yeah.
She's basically talking to you about the numbers they're drawing from the investigation and the sort of the path they're clearing out for the vaccine. The work they're doing. They have to use a lot of computers and a lot of data banks to kind of crunch the numbers for it and kind of assist you guys. That's when it happens on the horizon. Very far reaches of the main capital, a mushroom cloud goes up. And a large part of the city goes down. Not exploded, but power goes down. You guys get knocked back. Catherine gets flown, onto the ground because it's a shock wave that goes off. But the explosion happened from where a power plant was.
Sabotage.
You think?
Or the plant died.
It's not a mirage.
Well, it could have been... You were just talking how it's infecting all the tech here. You think it was meltdown? Reactor meltdown? Or you think it was sabotage?
That's what my gut says.
Your gut's pretty good, so...
People are scrambling around to get this thing hardened, to get the facility taken care of. Yeah, everyone's starting to run inside and try to take care of things. This facility runs on its own energon power plant.
I think this planet's going back to the Stone Age after this. Which means, if we scrap all the tech, the laborers will be able to start anew, and the barons, well, they'll have a harder time.
This whole plant, like, I don't know about that idea. I don't like that idea.
I don't think it's an idea, it might be a reality.
It's not an idea. It's a
That's
thing.
fair. That's fair. I don't want to. I'm gonna try and stop it. That's what I'm saying. I don't like.
I'll start walking towards the epicenter.
I'm gonna go down into the CDC building and start like. I'm gonna be sitting in front of the reactor, guarding it, making sure nobody's gonna tamper.
Our tech is more resilient than theirs.
So the cut I'm throwing at you is the reactor starting to go critical.
In our building.
Yeah, it's infected.
Okay.
It's been infected since about the first day. Someone handled it, or handled some of the tech of it, and it's been getting Cybonic Plague, and it's going to go critical and take out your data center and take out your vaccine research.
Okay.
This is the cut I've thrown at you guys.
Well,
This is the time to use this.
remember guys, 3 backups in 2 locations.
Can I'm gonna use it if you'll let me. So, taking all our research into consideration, I'm gonna start working on some stuff, grabbing something from my pocket. I'll be like, this is our first and only working cure. If I inject this computer with it, it should be able to at least slow it down so we can fully heal it back up and it will not go critical anytime soon. I'm going for it, guys.
All right, you're gonna blow your one cure.
I'm blowing my marvelous thing.
All right, you bypass and patch the end of this generator and curative Cybonic Plague and harden it.
Okay,
You work on it. You clear the check. It wasn't that big of a deal.
it's fair, but it costs resources,
Yeah.
precious resources.
Yeah. See, the cut I was gonna throw at you was if that generator did go critical and took out your research, then the Baron would have blamed it on the laborer doctor and said she had done it.
Ooh,
That would
yeah,
have been the closed loop for that.
yeah.
Okay,
Someone has to be to blame.
we need to be backing this data up to our spaceship in there, not by contact, but by just sending the data over,
Wireless, yeah.
just in case.
Yeah, as we're doing that, we're now wirelessly backing up all our data.
It's called the crash plan, guys.
It's that is going to be complicated because your texts aren't.
Emulated.
It's complicated
Yeah,
to
yeah,
do,
yeah.
else you would have been doing it from the get-go.
That's fair.
Suffice to say, this facility and all of the first-hand research on it is necessary for the vaccine.
But we're also going to be building some stuff to
Yeah.
able us to wireless. Even if it takes a few days, we'll have backup capabilities in like a week, let's say, or something.
Let's build up some solar panels and let's move the generator end up somewhere deeper out in the concrete shell in case it goes up.
All right, that was basically the last big obstacles to throw at you, and to counter it, Rover, you sacrificed your one unique thing for this in between this long rest, and that wraps it up. So on the eve of that, things are getting worse, but you're holding steady, and Family Day is marred by riots and protests and loss of freedom of movement. As that reactor, they blame that on like a strike terrorist attack. They start scapegoating.
Yeah.
As you do.
This is gonna get.
Yeah, I mean, that's where my mind went.
I mean,
Yeah.
never waste a good, tragedy.
Yep.
Yep.
So you are 8 days out from the vaccine, it looks like about.
Yep.
And when we come back next session for the last session of Path of Logic, Part 5, let's see if we can mitigate the death toll and the infection rate before that.
Yeah.
I think that's a good place to end it, a sort of oh no note.
Yep.
All right. So I was Devin,
Tyler?
Ian.
And Peter.
and this is sponsored by Nova. signing off.